This video is for cleaning out the EGR pipe or passage on the 3rd gen Toyota Prius. Alright, so before we get started here, we got our tool collection that we're going to need for this job. Got needle nose pliers, which we use to unclip the harness clips, I guess you call them. And got a 10mm socket with extensions to reach down into the airbox and get some of the bolts that are way down in there. And then we got the 10mm combo wrench that's going to be used to actually remove the pipe. And then of course our brushes to clean the passages, flex head ratchet, and we got 3/8 here, 1/4 inch here. That's just how we got this little power tool set up, so that's helpful too if you have one of those. Then we got the power drill, which you can actually attach these particular brushes to and use that to clean out the pipe, and parts wash to do more cleaning. So that's about it right there for the tools. Don't need too much. Okay, so a good starting point would be removing the airbox lid. You can just unclip it there. Then you can unclip the mass airflow sensor. This is already loosened. That's the hose clamp that holds it to the lid. And then take that one out, set it aside. And we can take out the air filter, set it aside. And then to get the lower portion of the box out, there's another bolt under here. So you can lift off the cover. You just pull up on it. There we go. There's 3 mounting points. There's rubber grommets are just popping onto those metal balls or whatever the heck you want to call them. Okay, so then to get the lower box out, there's these 3 10mm bolts, and let's see, the one that's way at the bottom, gotta use some extensions to get that one, and get these all loose. Alright, let's see. This one I'll just do by hand because I don't have an extension on the power tool long enough. Okay. All these airbox bolts are the same ones, so you don't have to worry about mixing them up. And then this tube is clipped into this box. I think there's a funky trick to getting it out of there, but instead of breaking stuff and to play it safe, I'm just gonna take these clips out, or bolts, I should say. So there's 2 more 10mm bolts. So those are also the same. And let's see. Oh, then there's this hose. There's 3 points to unclip this hose from the box. And then once you got that out of the way, you can just lift everything up. Kind of work it around these hoses. Okay. Alright, now we're getting closer to the pipe. Now you can see where the pipe connects to the intake manifold. There's a little funky bolt here that you can use. It's like a combination wrench to get it loose. And then you probably need a hand thread it or unthread it. Okay, so this is where it's a little bit tricky. You don't want to drop this bolt when you back it out, it gets stuck between the bracket and this this harness piece right here. So let's see if I can work it around the harness maybe, because I don't want to lose it. Yeah, there we go. Because once you unclip the harness, that bolt's going to fall right out and it's going to go down into the engine. Alright, so then once you unbolted the plastic bracket, you can just take some needle nose pliers to free it from the harness. Let's see if I'm doing this right. Yep. Sometimes these don't want to go. There we go. So there's the one clip. There's the other clip. Okay, so we'll set that aside. And so now we got some more room. Now we can get to the bolts that hold the pipe on. There's 2 and 2. Let's see, I already knocked them loose actually. So this one, you can get it also with the combination wrench, knocking it loose and taking it out. Alright. And this one, can do that with the combo wrench too. Then these ones here, you can do with some extensions and a ratchet. You can knock them loose this way. And then same thing down here. And then on the lower one, you want to be careful not to drop that one either. So I'm just gonna back it out with the extension and the socket, kind of get ready to hold on to it. There we go. Don't want to drop that. Okay. And the last one. And as long as you're careful, they actually designed this to help you out, looks like. The gasket for the pipe right there has little prongs on it that hold it to that piece there, that EGR piece. Okay, so now we got the pipe out. You can see all that gunk in there. And we're gonna go ahead and clean it up. There's also more gunk in here and this passage. So since we're gonna try to clean in there, I'm gonna carefully take that gasket off and set it aside. All right, so we're cleaning over our oil pan here because all this crap's gonna come out. Got our little power drill brush set, and that makes it pretty easy. You can see all the crud in there, and this will get it out pretty easily. There we go. Ooh, look at that. We're looking much better. I don't know if we're getting all the way into the middle, but yeah, we'll soak it in some brake clean. Oh yeah, look at that. There we go. Oh yeah. There's all the good stuff. There we go. Whatever's in the middle, trying to wash it out the best we can. Hard to get all the way back in there, but did pretty good. Yeah. Okay. So then we're going to go and clean the other ends that these made up to. And we'll put it back together. Okay, so here we are at the intake manifold. I'm just going to push back the harness and the vent hose and use the brush to scrape out. Trying not to push it into the intake. I'm trying to just put the brush in there and then scrape it out. Not try to dump all that gunk in the motor. Let's see how that feels. That feels pretty good. This time we're not using a brake clean because we don't want to pour that into the engine. Although some people will just take the manifold off and clean it out off the engine. But this way works pretty well with a lot less trouble. So yeah, that's good. Got all the major buildup off. So now we'll go to the other passage that needs to get cleaned out. Okay, so now we're doing the EGR valve side passage, and same thing, just scraping the stuff, pulling it out. This one actually is tilted downward, so that helps too. Doesn't want to fall inside, wants to run out. You see, that's pretty good. Okay, you can see all that junk falling out of there. Yeah, that feels pretty clean. So I think we're about ready to put it back together. There you go. Now you can see all that stuff that fell out of that EGR pipe right there. So now we're going to put it all back together. I'm going to carefully clip in the gasket for the pipe. There we go. And set the pipe back in place. And start one of the bolts. And start one on the other side. Make sure your gasket's okay here. Yeah, it looks fine. Okay. Okay, this is one where we gotta be careful getting this lower one in. Use a socket to keep myself from dropping it. Alright, so then tighten them down. Okay, and then for these ones, let's use the wrench. Okay. Alright, this is that part where you gotta be careful to not drop the bolt. Okay. Then we'll tighten that down. Clip in the harness. Okay, there we go. Okay, so then we got to put our lower box section back in. Okay. Alright, so we got the two bolts here that hold the inlet pipe. And then gotta line up the other same bolts on the box side. Okay, so all those are tightened down. Then we need to, let's see, drop in our filter. And put on our lid. There we go. And then it hinges in. Clips down tight. Plug in the sensor. And we gotta tighten that clamp down. There we go. Don't want to go too crazy tight. And let's see, then, oh, we just have our cover for the engine. There we go. And it just pushes down. And if we didn't miss anything, I think we're done.